Hi, welcome to Relational Empowerment. My name is Leah. I just want to take a few minutes to introduce myself and give you a little bit of an idea of what this channel is about and a little bit of backstory as to why it exists. I will start by letting you know that a lot of what I speak about is going to come from a Christian perspective because I am a follower of Christ, but much of it is very practical and applicable to every area of life, no matter what your faith background or your belief system is today. So I seek to honor everyone. I never intend any disrespect to anyone. It's just that my journey has come from a Christian background. And so a lot of what I understand and know is through the lens of my faith. And so that's going to come up a lot in the conversation, but I just ask you, don't write it off, because a lot of things that will be discussed here are going to apply to your everyday life, no matter what you believe. So I just want to thank you for giving it a chance, even if we may not agree on certain things. And I welcome you to reach out at any point in time and let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any questions, if there's something you want to have a conversation about privately, I am always open to conversation. I love dialogue, especially when we don't necessarily agree on the same things, because that's where we grow. And actually, that's what this channel is all about, developing the ability to communicate well, no matter what we do or don't agree on. It's about honoring people, about recognizing that every person has value. Every person is here for a purpose. And so we find that in our relationships throughout life, whether it's coworkers, parents, children, employer, employee, we find boyfriend, girlfriend, friends, married couples, so often might be on the same page. They might even agree about some very fundamental things, but can't seem to communicate, can't seem to get their point across. It seems like by time something leaves one person's mouth, the way it hits the next person's mind and gets interpreted, things get all messed up. And so there's so many miscommunications and so many breakdowns in relationships of every kind because of these miscommunications, even when people agree. And so a big part of this is that we would become more aware of ourselves as individuals and learn how to communicate well and have healthy, strong relationships no matter what we agree or disagree on. That we would honor every person that we encounter, whether they're the grocery store clerk or the homeless person on the side of the road or our very closest friends. That we would assign value to every person and that we would meet them right where they're at, because we're secure with who we are. Because we have taken the time to recognize the things in us that might not be conveying messages well, because we interpret things in our own mind based on past hurts. And so getting to the core of what this discussion is about has to do with recognizing that throughout the course of our lives there have been messages. False messages is what they are. False message is when something is spoken over us that's not true. It could be simple things that we heard as a child, whether it's from our siblings or a family member of any type, or even in school. Things that are spoken contrary to the character of who we truly are. So I don't even like giving examples, because I just don't like speaking terrible things about a person, especially in the context of you. You are a fill in the blank. I'm sure you guys have all heard it. I know I certainly have, and let's just face it. Those things that we've heard throughout the course of our lives, they've done things to our hearts. They've created scars on our hearts and on the way we think about ourselves and the way we perceive other people. And so that is at the core of these relational defaults, where we end up misunderstanding what someone means because we're reading it through the lens of something someone else said that reminds us of them from our childhood. There's really thousands of scenarios where these miscommunications take place. So many of them are rooted in the patterns, our thought patterns that have stemmed from the things that have been spoken over us, the things that have happened to us, and even things that we've brought on ourselves. And so if we can recognize the things that, like our behaviors, triggers to certain behaviors, we recognize, oh wait, this is what's happening. Why is that happening? That comes from this place. Now, what's true about this? Am I really lazy? Wait a minute, no. I've always been told I'm the hardest worker at all of my jobs. All of my bosses want to hire me back. I can't be lazy. So why do I believe that I'm lazy? Gee, is it because someone said that about me when I was younger and I've just carried this imprint in my mind all these years that I'm lazy? So now I recognize that there's a lie that's been spoken over me, and I realize that that's not true. And then I can assign the truth to that thought and walk in the identity, the reality of it. And then, oh, now I'm not looking through the lens of someone who believes they're lazy, which means I'm going to communicate differently with other people, especially in that area. So there's, like I said, thousands of examples of how this looks. The main thing is just, I wanted to give you an idea of what some of the discussions are going to look like. To be quite honest, I really don't know how all of this is going to look. I believe that it's something that God's put on my heart to share with other people because it's been an interesting journey for me. And while I still have many things that I even see today that I'm working through and that I see that I don't like, and I'm confronted with a choice every time, what are you going to do about it? Oh, wait, that's a behavior that's not really true to who I am. Now I get to choose what I'm going to do about it. And so I've just been so grateful for the difference I've seen in my own character from where I was even 6 months to a year ago, and to continue on this journey. And so I just want to share some of the things that I've been able to learn and really be a support system for people who want to have a conversation and don't really know who to turn to. I'm not a scientist or a neurosurgeon or any of those things. I'm just coming from a practical, everyday, this is what I've witnessed and this is the difference I've seen in myself when I've applied these practical steps. And so that's the perspective I'm coming from. It's just a very practical, everyday way of personal growth that leads to stronger relationships and better communication. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you will continue to check out the videos and see how this might benefit you. And please feel free to ask questions, comment. We can dialogue about anything. I am not scared, and I love healthy dialogue. It's so good for our personal growth. So have a great day. I can't wait to see you next time. And Happy New Year. It's December 29th, 2020. So let's just start this new year out right. Let's start it out together and let's start it out well. Thank you. Have a good night.